Ah,
recording.
I tell you how long, right when you said it. I'm good, I'm right here. I had to
Okay.
close my door. Yeah.
Okay, no worries. Hey, you guys, this is Dear Shamika, and we are here with another episode of the Warm Up Diaries. We're joined today by Ox Logan. Ox, I wanted, we talked off camera a little bit about your story growing up in an impoverished community. Can you give us a little bit of the background about how you grew up?
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Ox Logan. You know what I mean? I grew up South Memphis, Lamore Garden Projects. You know what I mean? Until like '98, until they were tore down, whatever. You know what I mean? Went to George Avenue. Went to the summer camp. You know what I mean? It was just me, my mom, and my brother. You know what I mean? Um, it was I wouldn't say it was too rough, you know what I mean, because I was young and didn't understand really, you know what I mean, like too much about like what was going on really, because I was like having fun, but I knew like it wasn't the best like we could possibly be, you know what I mean, due to the fact like my mama used to be like, make sure you get your education there, you know what I mean. They can take a lot of things from you, but they can't take your education. You know what I mean? As long as you got that piece of paper that say you completed this and you did that, they can't take that from you. So we was real big on education coming up. You know what I mean? So that to take place for what we didn't have, you know what I mean? We focused more on what we did. Like we had smarts, we had intelligence, we had, you know what I mean, charisma, things that could help us get other stuff, you know what I mean? Like if we so need it.
Okay. What didn't you have?
For one, I didn't have like a father, you know what I mean? I had a father, few father figures, you know what I mean? Like, your mom gonna have boyfriends coming up, you know what I mean? You know how it go. But I didn't have like a for real, like father figure, you know what I mean? So that's what the main thing, like any material thing, like really didn't matter for real, for real. You know what I mean? Because I had my family,
With the men, you
you know
said
what I
you did
mean?
have
But
father figures, but it wasn't your real father.
it,
So the men that your mother brought into your life, do you feel like they had the characteristics you needed to help you to develop into becoming a man? And if so, what were those characteristics? Or if not, what did you say, man, this is not what I want to be when I get out?
I mean, they taught me both ways. Like some of them, they serve their purpose for each reason. Like some taught me certain things not to be like, you know what I mean. And for the most part, like the ones that did were around, they told me like responsibility, accountability, you know what I mean, and really much echo what she said. Like if you don't got no paper, like what you got? How can you say you this and that if you don't got nothing to back it up? You know what I mean? You can say you know this, you can say you know that, you can say you do this, you can say you do that, but what do you got to back that up?
Okay. The
Other
ones
than you
the
saying,
ones that did you said they taught you what you didn't want.
yeah,
What characteristics would those be?
like aggressiveness and like disrespect, like to women. You know what I mean? Like I ain't too fond of that. Like I ain't too fond of just like taking advantage of a woman. You know what I mean? Like I suffer before I put my bearings or put my cross on a woman or take my frustrations out on a woman. You know what I mean? And the most important thing, like that I learned overall, like I said, my biological father wasn't there, right? So that was the most important lesson I was taught. Like if whenever I have children, the most important thing is to be there. You know what I mean? Because I'm gonna make a way to do any and everything else. But if I ain't there, like I don't have a say. Like I can say something, but like what effect does it have? Because I'm not there. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm the father. You got my blood and you got my genes, but I'm not there to mold you and help you understand that. So now you're gonna look at me like, bro, who you talking to? Because you created this, but then you didn't want to have raised it. So you know what I mean?
Okay. So as far as these men, I'm kind of backtracking because I think this is something that people don't really talk about. They don't talk about how, your parents may be dating a man or a woman that's not necessarily a good fit, and how it impacts the children, or what you have to endure. What did that make you feel a type of way, like seeing a man be aggressive towards or not do right
It,
by your
it just
mother?
it just taught me what not to do. You know what I mean? Like every situation like is for a reason. You know what I mean? Like if you put yourself in certain situations or certain situations you find yourself in, like it's what you take from it. It's good in everything. You know what I mean? Like yeah, it was the environment was crazy and you know what I mean, heartbreaking and frustrating because as a child you don't understand it. You know what I mean? But then as you get older, you like okay, there's ways around it. There's ways we can talk through that or get through that. But back then you like what's going on? Like why? Like why you doing this and why you do that? And then your only response is like go in your room or stay out of grown folk business. So then as you become a grown person, you understand what grown people business is. You know what I mean? As a child, you just hear the transaction, the dispute. You don't understand like the full scope of it. You just know you don't like it. You just
Hmm.
know you don't want to be there. But then you know also like whoever, depending on who's in the situation, you can't go nowhere.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Uh-huh. Growing up without a father, had you ever met your father, or?
Yeah. Yeah, I met him before. You know what I mean? That's why I say like I don't harbor no like the derogatory feelings, you know what I mean? Because it's like I'm not old enough to understand why you made that choice. You know why you made that choice. You know what I mean? You gotta deal with why you made that choice. You know what I mean? All I know is I got a daddy and you supposed to do the other half of the lifting, but as again, as a child, I can't make you be responsible for something that you already know you're responsible for. So I just looked at it like again, that's something if I'm ever in that or ever have children, that's something I'm not going to do. You
Mhm.
know what I mean? Because again, like I know like being there is what matter the most. Like you can send money, you can send games, you can send toys. Ain't nothing like being there.
Okay. Did he have a valid excuse, or
I
as to why he
mean,
wasn't there, or did he just?
yeah, I mean, it's the I ain't gonna say I don't like saying certain words, but the average reasoning, my pops did some time in jail, you know what I'm saying? So again, it wasn't his fault, but it was his fault. You know what I'm saying? Like I said before, it's due to the choices you make. You know what I mean? Like choices, the power of choices is a great thing. You know what I mean? So I didn't fault him for not being there. I just didn't understand until I got old enough to like, okay, well, you was here. You know what I mean? So I couldn't, even if you wanted to, but still, as a child, you don't understand it. You're gonna look at it like what I do. You know what I mean? Why he, you know what I mean? Like the Will Smith episode, like why he don't want me? Because you're not old enough to understand like it's certain situations that could put that wall right there that he may not or she may not can scale at that time. You know what I mean? So time heal all wounds and with time come understand. So
um as a child, so I know as we get older we do understand
mhm.
having an incarcerated parent. Let's go back to your childhood. Like, what emotional weight does having an incarcerated parent put on a child from your perspective?
I mean, it wasn't no weight on me per se because like other than him not being there, you know what I mean? Like that became like some normal at that point. After a certain while, you stop looking for something that don't appear. You know what I mean? Yeah, you still think about it and wish for it and want it, but after a while, you just focus on what's there. And what was always there was my mom and my brother. You know what I'm saying? So like again, like and in some ways, I look at my brother like, okay, that's my pops. You know what I mean? Because most of the things that he told me and showed me is really what I go by. You know what I mean? And then folks be like, I'm crazy because I say my mama was a mean dad. You know what I'm saying? Because she did. She played both roles. You know what I'm saying? Even though as a woman, you know what I mean? Like she still provided. Yeah, she was nurturing and caring, but she also didn't play. You know what I mean? Like she still provided that discipline and structure, which a man would give. You know what I'm saying? To the best of her ability. You know what I'm saying? So as far as weight, only weight I could say was on me was like not being able to go out and play catch with him or something. Him not teaching me to ride a bike. You know, like stuff the average kid would want from their parent. You know what I mean? Other than that, like, because again, after so long of something not being there, it's like it don't exist until it becomes real again to you. You know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna keep calling and calling and or we having conversation and it's not going nowhere. And my mama was the type of parent like I'm not finna keep putting him through that. I'm not finna keep letting him be disappointed, looking for some that he don't know not coming, but you know not coming. You know what I mean? So she took up for that. So I didn't really have no weight like that. I just had like needs, I would say, or wants and dreams. You know what I mean?
Okay. What were your needs, wants, and dreams as a child?
You know what I mean? Like I just wanted like what it would be like for me to have him around as a younger male. You know what I mean? Like some of the decisions I made, where I still have made them. You know what I mean? Like yeah, like I said, Big Bro was the father figure, but that ain't pops. You know what I mean? Like you, it's certain stuff you can tell me that'll stick, and then certain stuff I look at you like, yeah, you still just my brother though. You know what I mean? Now, what if those words were coming from pops? Would they hit a little different? Yeah, because that's who I get certain DNA and certain chromosomes from. So that would have helped me understand, like, okay, that's why I'm acting like that. If he can be spot on about why I'm doing certain things, you know what I mean? Okay, that's why I do it.
Mhm.
But I never had that clarification about like why I act a certain way. But when you hear, when you starting to act like your dad, or you look just like your dad, or this when you do this, you remind. I'm like, so if he did that, how don't I don't, you know what I mean? Like, what else did he do? If you can point that out, like, what else was he doing? You know what I mean? That was the like what the what else like I get from him besides the stuff that some people can easily point out. You know what I mean?
So you just wanted a deeper understanding of who he
Yeah,
is and how it
yeah.
connected to who you are as a person.
hmm Because I share that with my mama. You know what I mean? Like we got the same birthday. We think alike. We got the same sense of style. You know what I mean? Like even we big on education. We both love music. You know what I mean? Like so certain things that I find myself enamored with, I know where I get it from. You know what I mean? Like
Mm.
my charisma, my ability to hold conversations, my intellect, the way I can pronounce my words and enunciate every letter when I decide to. I get all that from her. Now everything else I would have to say falls to the other side, but I needed certainty at a younger age to be clear about that. You know what I mean? I didn't want to put everything that was deemed to be a certain way over here and everything that deemed to be a certain way over here. You know what I mean? Like I didn't want that because that's not how I was made. I was made by enjoying whatever it was.
Okay, growing up in South Memphis.
Mm-hmm.
How was growing up in South Memphis? Because I'm from the Haven, if y'all didn't know, but it's a lot of stereotypes put on kids from poverty. What are some stereotypes that you feel like they put on kids from certain neighborhoods that are not true?
Um, Certain stereotype they put on us. We ghetto. We don't want nothing. We gonna be destructive. We lack education. We lack home training. We disrespectful. It just everything that's so not South Memphis. If I can be honest, you know what I mean? Like we don't got no manners or anything, just anything that I would deem derogatory, especially coming from the part of South Memphis. You know what I mean? I come from. I was like we moved to the Lemoyne Garden projects, and then when those tore down, like some people don't want to consider Whitehaven South Memphis, but geographically Whitehaven is South Memphis. So when I got out here, it was the same thing. Like we moved to public housing out here, the Cazalses, you know what I mean? And then it was the same like statistic, like, okay, he from out there. So now that he out here, they must think they got a little money now, some, but they still got the same mentality. You don't even know my mentality because you don't even know me. You just know where I'm from. So, but that's that's why I love being from South Memphis, bro. Because like if you're not from there, you wouldn't understand. You wouldn't understand. But then to know us and to be from there, like it take a lot to live and thrive and survive in South Memphis. You can't be disrespectful and not have no home training and say you from South Memphis. You could get whooped by your next door neighbor, a butt whooping now by your next door neighbor in South Memphis. You can't get there right now. You know what I mean? And then once they got through with you, when you got home, you got another one. You don't get that right now. You know what I mean? So that's what I pride my, you know what I mean, upbringing and childhood on. And I wish we could have more of that now, to be honest.
Mhm. And how do you feel? Because you said people stereotyped you, as a child being from South Memphis. How do you feel they stereotype you now being an adult black male from South Memphis? Like, do you feel like you get
It's
stereotyped in
worse.
some ways?
It's worse. To me, it's like now they look at us, oh, like, well, look at me and be like, okay, we know where he's from, but if he in the same room with us, that means he know a little something. So, but how? And then, like I told you before, like an interview turns into an interrogation. Why are you interested in this? What made you want to be interested in this? Why? If I got the verifications and the paperwork that show you why I'm interested in this, I'm not gonna go make all A's and something just to go do it. I'm not gonna go apply for something class just to do it. I wasn't raised just to do something to do it. You know what I mean? Like education is key, yeah, but I'm not gonna waste my time educating myself on something that I don't see no value in. You know what I mean? So they look at me and be like, well, if I didn't graduate from University of Memphis or UT Chad or UT Martin, in any of those kind of schools or whatever, or you know what I mean, or dress a certain way, and then they be like, and they hear me speak, they be like, okay, well, he cool, but he's still a little bit rough. You know what I mean? I'm like, but
Mhm.
that's me though. I can't help where I'm from. I'm not one of the people to shy away from where I'm from. You know what I mean? I embrace it because that's why it helps me to remain where I'm at.
Mhm.
Like I told you before, they quick to remind me where I'm from, but forget to remind me where I'm at.
And
That
where
be
are
the
you
whole,
at?
huh? That
I
be the
said,
whole thing. Like they want me to stay in the back. I can't stay back there. I wasn't built to be put back there. Yeah, I may start off running slow. That's because I got to figure it out. But then once I figure it out and I get my work my way to the front, it becomes, well, why you want this so much? What do you mean? Why did I even enter the race? You was fine as long as I was in the back. You was fine as long as I wasn't asking you no questions. You was fine as long as I wasn't getting the same awards you was getting and getting poured into the same conferences. You know what I mean? You was fine. It didn't matter then where I was from. But the moment it seemed like I get a little bit of what you're getting, you quick to remind me where I'm from to hope that it'll trigger me so I forget where I'm at. So again, like that be the uphill battle. Like people see me, and then I rap too. That's the stigma. They are that's what they say we only good for. Rapping, entertainment, really. Rapping and sports, or gang banging and going to jail. See what I'm saying? So once they hear, oh, okay, you a rapper, nose get turned to what kind of. Now, first I say I do music because I know if I lead with rapper, it's gonna be this. So well, I do music. But what do you do? Hip hop? Yeah, I rap. Oh, then they get extra serious and stern then. Well, I know where you're going with this now. You already didn't judge me for one when I came in because I got a beard, I'm bald, I'm black, my paperwork match whatever requirements you asking me to reach for, and I probably exceed them. So you're thinking that your ideal person was walking in the door. He is. He just don't look like it. That's all. I don't fit their pro quo. See what I'm saying? Because I don't dress like them. I don't talk like them. I can, but then I wouldn't be true to myself. I take myself now with more honor, and I value every lesson instilled from my mama to this day. Like even the stuff I didn't understand as a child, like having me give speeches in third and fourth grade in front of rooms of 50s and hundreds of people. You know what I mean? Dressing me up, making me do 3-minute speeches, putting me in the choir at a young age, preparing me to be in front of people. I didn't know it. So now it's her famous thing is not what you call, is what you answer to. So you can call me anything. As long as I don't answer, that's not me. But what you will do is call these same accomplishments out the same way you call out their logo. And that's gonna burn you up even more because now you gotta associate me with something that you view as prestigious. And you can't deny it. That goes back to put it on paper. You know what I mean? That what the biggest lesson I could say I learned from my childhood. That you know what I mean? Like just put it on paper. You can say a lot, you can move a lot, but can you put it on paper? Putting on paper makes it real. You know what I mean? Like and what made it real for me, like I didn't take hold to all this or get an understanding of this until after she transitioned. You know what I'm saying? The irony of that. I didn't accept all this until then. You know what I mean? It was always a question, why then? Why you got me doing this? Why you want me to do this? You could have had anyone. Why you picking me? Until it came a time where I couldn't ask that, and then I had to figure out why not me.
Okay. So you said she had you doing all these things. What all did she have you doing?
Oh, like, again, like okay, fourth grade, she put me in junior achievement. Junior achievement, again, due to my intellect, it wouldn't allow me to sit in the back. See what I'm saying? As much as I want to be in the back, it wouldn't. I'm not allowed back there because the way I speak, my presence, and the simple fact that I'm a young black gifted man who's able to speak these things is needed because there's so many of us who comfortable being in the back. You feel what I'm saying? So the junior achievement, the karate lessons, the just anything that I felt like was out of the norm. You see
Hmm.
what I'm saying? Like I wanted to go be outside playing football. I had my time to play football and basketball, but before then it was okay. I need you to Come learn long division. I ain't even to that point yet. I'm still doing regular plus and minus. I ain't even there yet. Yeah, you will be. You see what I'm saying? I don't even like talking in front of people. I'm shy. I'm this, I'm that. Okay, we're gonna put you in this, and then they're gonna show you that you're not what you think you is. Yeah, again, me wanting to play small, she always put me in a position to where I couldn't. Because if I play small in this room, I'm gonna really be small. Because now I'm in the room with giants, and I can't be small in the room with everybody that's up here. So things like that, like always challenging me, like what's next. Never be comfortable with just the surface. Like I can't forget. Like she went back in her like at 40 to like get her bachelor's, right? Just to show me, like, can't nobody tell you when, you know what I mean, you can do something. You know it. You determine it. So I thought that was the end of the lesson, right? She doubled back at 50, go get a master's. Again, showing me like it's all in what you want to do. You know what I mean? So it's not where you're from, it's about where you at. And then once you get there, it's not about where you at no more. It's about where you're going. But you can't figure out where you're going until you realize where you at and respect where you come from. So that was the upbringing. That was my upbringing, and those some of the things like when they get rough for me, and I feel like it's too much for me to bear. I remember I just think back. It was never too much. It was never too much. Just make a way. You know what I mean? It's a way to do it. You can't. You got to trim the fat. You can't. I might can't bite all this at one time. I might can't cook all this at one time. Cut it in half. Like she used to do your sandwich. Cut it in half. You can eat it then. You know what I mean? So it's just certain stuff like that that I feel like people need to stop. Like stop prejudging, or at least verbally prejudge. Like you can think it. It's cool to think what you think. Like nobody can take what you think away from you. But when you verbalize it, that's what make it a weapon. That's when people tend to go into those modes where, well, maybe I ain't want it, or maybe I ain't need it because anything I say, this ain't the only time something should be used against you is in a court of law. But in regular conversation, things we say are used against us every day. We're not in court every day, but it feels like every day we gotta wake up to justify or explain or give clarity for something we choosing to do. That's not cool. It's our fault we come from these impoverished things and want more. So we're not supposed to want to be doctors, lawyers, and teachers for real. We're not supposed to want that. We're just supposed to be cool with just being your entertainers, your basketball players, your rappers, the low hanging fruit. We're supposed to be cool with it. Again, that's when we conduce ourselves to that kind of thinking, and it's not our fault because in those environments, that's all we see though. So we believe that's all we can achieve. You know what I mean? That's why I'm thankful and grateful for my mom. Like again, that's why I keep saying it's not where you at, it's where you're going. Where you're going. You can be in the pits of hell, but you don't gotta look like it. You don't gotta look like it. You don't gotta act like it. You could go home and be starving every day you go home from school. But you don't gotta look like it. You might not have a place to go home from when you leave school. That don't mean you gotta act like it.
What does it mean to have a sense of pride? Because you seem like your mom instilled in you a sense of pride. Do you feel like things have improved since you were a kid as far as people instilling pride in their kids? Or do you feel like it's gotten worse? And if so, why or why not?
It's I would say it's getting they instilling the wrong. I can't say the wrong type of pride, right? It's cool to be prideful of yourself and the things you do, right? But if the things you doing are tearing down or do not inducive to anything productive, what are we glorifying? Like seriously, what are we glorifying? And I feel like the parentals and guardians of this time are more friends because they coming up. We couldn't go to the club with our mom. We couldn't go to the club with our auntie. We might have been the same age, but they had their own set of clubs that they was going to. They knew what clubs we frequent. They never came. Now you go in the club, you gonna see your auntie, your uncle. Uh, it blurs the line between okay, this is an authoritative figure. Then okay, I can just talk to her any kind of way. This is my peer. This is my friend. It's not. This is your aunt. This is your uncle. He may or she may be cool or fun acting with you, but it's a level of respect that you still got to keep. And that level of respect, I feel like it's been blurred so much because they want to be their friends because they don't know them. They don't know them. Half these, and I say that because like the phone generation, like everybody's in the phone. How can you know somebody if you like this all day? You wake up, you like this. You go to sleep, you like this. How can you know them? Nowadays, kids don't have to go outside. I want to play on my tablet. Okay, go in your room playing tablet. I don't know you. I don't know what you like to do because all day you sit in the room and play Roblox. So all I know is for you to do is like Roblox. So I don't know you. I don't know what to buy you unless it's just regular stuff I see you just pick up when we out somewhere. I don't know your personality unless I just go off what I think. And then 9 times out of 10, parents nowadays be wrong if they just go by what they think. I think he gonna like this. I think she gonna like this, unless they didn't develop that best friend bond to where they were pretty much or do pretty much the same thing, and that ain't never good. That ain't never good because it blurred the line of authority. How can you make me? How can you ask for respect and I see you doing the same thing I'm doing in the same areas, even though you was doing this before me? Now you're here doing it with me. Where we gonna draw the line? It ain't there.
Mm.
So that's what I say. Like it's the difference in the parenting now. Like your our mamas and aunties got together to party, kids upstairs or outside. They wasn't in grown folk face. No matter what age we was. If we was too young, the older ones had to get us to make sure we was out of there. So again, it's no clear line of authority unless they in trouble or unless they need something. Other than that, it's whatever.
What are some things that your mom instilled in you so that you can have structure that you feel may be missing with kids today?
Like you said, take pride in yourself. If you ain't proud of you, how can you expect anybody else to be? You got to be proud of you first. You know what I mean? You gotta want something out this thing we call life for yourself first. People can want that for you all they want to. They can root for you, they can cheer for you, they can draw it out for you, they can even cry for you because they want it for you so bad. But until you want it, ain't nothing gonna happen for you. Not the stuff that you want. You're gonna get everything you need. Might not get nothing you want. You don't get what you need because you're not doing nothing to get what you want. You're not taking pride in yourself like you want something. You look at stuff like it's just okay, yeah, whatever. Everything is not okay. Yeah, I get to it tomorrow. What if tomorrow don't come? Her thing was don't put off tomorrow what you can do today. But also when you make ace, you make waste. Haste make waste. Don't rush to do it, but then don't take your time either. You see what I'm saying? So it's a lot. Like you gotta hold something. You gotta value something other than yourself too. Because if you just go through life worried about what you want and what make you happy, then if all that matters to you, then you probably ain't gonna be reaching for too much of that. Because you're gonna set the most obtainable goals for yourself. You're not gonna make yourself work too hard unless you're just a person who like define the odds and working hard like that. You're gonna take the lowest hanging fruit for yourself to feel accomplished. So you can say, well, I did this. That's really not nothing. But you did it though. You know what I mean? You know to the level of your capacity and intelligence and workload what you can handle. You know if you truly living and walking in it. You know what I mean? So the moment, because you only cheating yourself. So you say you can lie to me, but you can't lie to God. You know what I mean? You can cheat me, but you can't cheat God. You know what I mean? You can sit here and fake the funk with everybody else, but it's one person who see everything. So when you get in front of him, you can't. That ain't gonna work. So you got to figure out a way to not do that.
Mhm.
Take pride in something. Stand for something. I don't care if it's you want to be the best paper route boy or the paper boy. Take pride in it. Deliver your papers on time every time, and even early on Sunday. But you got to take pride in something because if you don't have pride in anything, you will fall for everything. Everything gonna sound like a good idea. Everything. If you don't have nothing that you want to do, if you don't have no values or boundaries for yourself, anybody can convince you to do something, right or wrong.
What advice would you have for a person? Because we know, you've spoken about your mom dying and what she instilled in you and things of that nature. And as of late, I've seen a lot of people that harbor resentment and hold grudges towards their parents. I know you said you were able to forgive your dad.
Mhm.
What advice would you give to somebody that's kind of holding a grudge or resentment against their mother or father?
That ain't their job. You're trying to play too many roles. You like my mom said, you want to sweep around my porch and yours dirty. How you gonna clean my front porch and you ain't even got a doormat? How you worried about, you know what I mean? Like you can't, that ain't your job, that ain't your place. They did what they were sent put here to do. Procreate. They made you. However they went about doing, whatever happened or transpired in between that time, who are you to judge them or fault them for anything? It's not your job. It's God's job. You don't know what happened. You weren't old enough to understand. Yeah, you got your feelings and you're entitled to them. Okay, cool. But after your feelings, what else are you really holding on to? And your feelings, again, are they affecting them or they are affecting you? Again, you on they gonna get a tumor hating them or you gonna get a tumor hating them. They gonna have a stroke hating them or you gonna have a stroke hating them. They gonna lose sleep hating them or you gonna lose sleep. Like, what are you willing to sacrifice to be willing to hate somebody? Because it takes more energy to hate somebody than to do to love them. Because you gotta wake up every day and be like, man, I hate this person. Every day. Every minute you think, I hate him, I hate him, I hate him. For what? Only way that person did you any kind of um disjustice or misjustice is you didn't learn that nothing happens to a person. It happens for you. You can't look at Jimmy's situation and be like, I want mine to be like his, then your life will be like Jimmy's. Because what if Jimmy grows to be like Dylan? But he had everything as a child, or so we thought. Perception is everything. To you, it may be small, it may be minuscule. Your cup may be half full to somebody else. But then somebody else look at your cup, man. Hey, man, sure got a lot of juice in there. Because then you look at their cup, they got a third of what you got. So you got to be grateful for what you got. And if you got the breath and britches at whatever age you is, you should thank them for even thinking enough to have you. Because now it's your job to do whatever you feel like they didn't do, especially if you're a parent. You not God. It's not your job to judge them. Why would you hate somebody who carried you for 9 months, pushed you out, fed you all this time? How? You can dislike them, yeah. You might not agree with all they teachings. That's fine. But hate, nah. Take too much energy for me. I can't hate anybody. It's not my job. Do I disagree with them? Yeah. But do I hate them? Nah. Because I don't know why. I don't know what the true choices were. Maybe that was the best option available. So again, we can't judge because we wasn't there to know. We just can feel how we feel and then go from there.
Thank you, Ox, for an amazing interview. How can the people get in contact with you?
You can Google me, Ox Logan, or Facebook. Just type in Ox Logan. Instagram, I am Ox Logan.
Okay.
So there's everything. Just simple and plain. It's
You got any upcoming events that you want to plug or?
upcoming events I got coming. I got a lot of community work I'm doing, and I need like more of my kind of people. When I say my kind, those that look like me. And I'm talking to the guys, not the women, because it's a lot of women, and more power to the women. I respect y'all for standing in these spaces. But I need the men to join me in these same spaces. We got a lot of work to do if we worried about what we claim we worried about. But outside of my music, that's what I've been on. I got a project that should be coming at the end of the year. But again, I've been working in the community more because that's one of the things I was taught. Like, it starts with us. Like, you gotta be the change that you want to see. So I'm out here with mine, trying to get mine to follow suit. And I know it's more people that think it. The ones that think of do it. Ain't that what the good book say? Those that think of do it. So that's what I'm working on.
Okay. Thank you so much for joining us on the Warm Up Diaries. Y'all have a good one. Say bye.
Peace, y'all.